Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 2nd of July. So, looking at the euro dollar, and well, we carried on selling off after I did the big picture outlook yesterday, and it's confirmed that lower high in there. From here, where to? Well, it doesn't look particularly good for the euro at the moment. It's broken the previous sort of support areas that may have been there. Excuse me. It looks to me like it has potential to continue rolling. Now, fundamentally, it makes sense, but technically, at the moment, what have we got? Well, we've got potential for a bit of bounce from where it is. It's already through the whole of it. I mean, it's done more this week in terms of range already than it did the whole of last week. So it sort of gives you a bit of a picture when you look at these pivots on here. The outlook at the moment, ignoring the weekly pivots, just sort of coming back to looking at a daily with a monthly overlay, and well, the daily pivot is sitting there around about 13.13 at the moment. It could push its way up there. There's a slight divergence across the lows there, which could see it running back towards there. I'm personally looking to see if we get opportunities to sell on this and see if we can ride it down some more. I tried one last week, but just got knocked out, stopped out. But maybe we've got more downside to be had on the euro dollar. So that's what I'm really looking for. So looking to sell into any strength or any retracements as opposed to strength. Right, the pound has struggled, and again it broke and confirmed a lower high on the dailies intraday point of view. Didn't manage to push anywhere up near its weekly pivot yesterday. It's got a bit of divergence where it's sitting again, so similar picture to the euro, similar potential for it to push back towards the daily pivot. Didn't sell off in the Asian session, late US session even, as much as the US dollar had. Just held solid there, but there is a bit of divergence across the lows. Where to from here? Well, again, my preference would see it pull back so I can sell into it. So that's what I'm looking for. But just to clarify, when I'm looking for something to pull back to sell in, it doesn't mean to say I want to sell immediately it pulls back. I will look for it to pull back and then maybe give me some reversal signal and a bit of a downturn, maybe even a break of a trend. I talk about trends a lot, maybe even looking for the break of the trend. So not just selling as it pulls back, but looking what it does when it pulls back. Okay, dollar yen. I was expecting a bit more downside on this, I must say, but I suppose with the pound and the euro selling, it's not been an easy route for it, but it had all the same held pretty well yesterday in terms of its range throughout the day, throughout the Asian US session and into the Asian session here. Still got the potential. There's a gap sitting below. We've got the weekly, monthly pivots below, which may still draw it to the downside. Looking at it from this picture here, the 4 hourly doesn't look quite so sweet from the downside in those gaps, in a sense, in terms of this sort of wedge pattern that's formed. You do wonder if it may just sort of break out the highs of that and push on, but we'll see. As I say, the gap still remains there. The weekly pivot sits below. Monthly pivot sits below, which could be a half decent draw. It's just running pretty choppy sideways at the moment, so it is one of those that well, if you see the other markets doing something, it may at least get back down towards that 50 MA, maybe, as I say, fill the gaps and hit the respective pivots. Aussie dollar taking a bit of a bounce here, bearish engulfing yesterday. Not entirely convinced with the Aussie dollar. In some respects, we did have news due Tuesday morning, cash rate that happened at 5:30, so that's all done and dusted. Let me just check the numbers there. Yep, we got the 0.25% cut as expected there. So it's really funny. It's sold before the news there, and sell on the rumour, buy on the news. In this case, maybe it was well expected that we'd see a 0.25% cut, and it's come. The market's rallied since then, and not really sold off. Where to? Well, the outlook's not the shiniest, and okay, that 0.25% interest rate cut may help the economy, but it's not going to be an immediate move, and I'm just wondering whether we'll see a bit more of a correction to the downside. But for now, it's as I say, it liked the 0.25% cut. It's seen as a bullish thing for the economy. We'll see how it progresses. Certainly don't want to be standing in front of what's happening at the moment. Canadian dollar. Okay, so Canadian dollar gained through the Asian session there. Looking at the bigger picture, I was looking for opportunities yesterday, and it may be that it's as simple as looking at the trend changes here. It pulled back. Let's get it in the right place here. It's barely moving by the looks of things at the moment on this 4 Alibaba, this new 4 Alibaba just coming out. That's why it may have just broken. It may be just worth watching this, but I still think it's the Canadian dollar against the US may still have some further downside here, so further strengths to come through. So look at watching that now. So that I would be looking at the prior lows and then more on that move. Looking back at the dailies here, maybe looking back at 30-60 sort of area initially, and then looking back historically for further lows for that to target. But at the moment, it's to me it's one of the stronger pairs against the US dollar for sure. Okay, New Zealand dollar. What am I doing? Looking at New Zealand dollar, bearish engulfing, and continuation. Looks like it's on for the monthly pivot at some point. One of the weakest pairs there. Okay, what I really wanted to look at was the S&Ps. So the S&Ps, well, made and closed on all-time highs on the S&Ps themselves. The E-minis here, well, just struggling a little bit where we're sitting at the moment. May have further upside, and well, we'll see. The gap that was sort of left there over the session there looked like it got pretty much closed actually in the end there on the futures there, but looking like it's heading a bit more bullish at the moment, but not totally convincing this market's ready to go mad at the moment or keep on pushing up, because there's no deal done. It's just that things may improve in terms of negotiations are back on track, and I think when deals are done, then we'll see the biggest rallies in these S&Ps, etc., in these equity markets. For now, it might. I'm just looking at watching this price action. It does look like it might come back and test yesterday's lows there. The way it's sitting at the moment, it's just looking like it might just roll over at least back to that 60.50. Right, that's pretty much it. News-wise today, Tuesday, we've already had the cash rate, as I say, for the Reserve Bank. We have got the governor speaking at 10:30 p.m. This evening, so it's quite a way off. The OPEC meetings continue, but I think basically an agreement was mentioned yesterday, and it may be coming to an end. I'm not too sure on that. But they look like they're continuing with the cuts. FOMC member speaking today 11:35 a.m. So during a participation in panel discussion about global economic and monetary policy outlook. So there we are. There may be some volatility kicking around about that time. Okay, that's it for me. Have a great day. Bye for now.